Hi everyone! Okay, I know I've been telling you that I would show you how I meal plan, and that's what I'm going to do today. Okay, I have two binders that are like my companions. This one here holds all the main recipes, and this one holds like all my baking recipes. Okay, these are recipes that I need to file. So these are recipes that I've collected over the years. These are recipes that I have taken out of magazines, printed online, and they had nowhere to go. They just you have those stacks in your drawers. You'll find a recipe or your cabinet. They just pile up. So I created this binder system to protect them and keep them and not lose them all the time. So this has been so helpful since I started it. So here's my categories in my baking binder. I have rolls and muffins, breads and pastries, cookies and brownies, pies and cakes, and I still have to make labels for the rest of them. I have crisps and snacks. I have a holiday section, Halloween and Christmas, and so all those recipes that you tear out or get in the mail, like for instance, I don't know how I got these, but I got all these recipes, these card recipes in the mail. So all I did was punch holes in the sides and stuck them in. So that's been super helpful. Okay, so now this is my Bible. I love this binder. Okay, on the inside I have sheets for menu planning. And I printed these sheets off of imperfecthomemaking.com. This lady is super cute. And I've been using her sheets, and they've been super helpful. One side is her grocery list. So, for instance, I'll look at a recipe, and I have a lot of things on hand already, as you saw from my food room. But, fresh things dairy and veggies. I will write, in what area they're in: bakery, meats, frozen, produce, aisle. And I'll write the section that they're in, and then the recipe for the week on this side. And then I'll just cut down the middle and take the grocery list with me and stick the menu planning on the fridge. And this is what I've done in the past, and it's been super helpful. In fact, I've been keeping all the old sheets, so I know what did we do or what have we eaten that we haven't had for a while. So these are my sheets, and I keep them in this section of the binder. On this section, I have all the recipes, again, collected from magazines, printed them online. And so I have a appetizer section, salad, soup, casseroles and pasta, sides, chicken and pork, beef and shrimp. And then in the back is miscellaneous for gravies and sauces. So this is what I do in the beginning of my binder. When I decide what we're going to do for a menu based on sales or what I already have in our freezer or what we have in our food storage room, I come in here and pick a recipe. Okay. Once I have a recipe and all the recipes for the week, I bring them and I clip them into the beginning of the binder so they're all stacked here. And the reason I do this is because when it's time to make dinner, it gets super busy. You don't want to flip through and find that recipe. So I put them up front. So if I'm in a bind and I need my husband or my daughter to start a recipe, they don't need to go searching for it. It's right here in the beginning of this book, so they could get going and start cooking for me. And it's been, I had a few times I had to call them and be like, oh my gosh, can you start this for me? And they didn't have to go looking for it. Recipe's right here. So that's been a time saver and super helpful for the hubby when, so it doesn't stress him out. So, yes, so that's what I do here. And I printed off this sheet. Where did I get this? Organizedhome.com. And this is a freezer inventory sheet. So when I do my menu planning, I pull this out and see what we have instead of getting up and moving over to the freezer. I do have a big chest freezer in the basement that stores a third of a cow and all of my coupon deals. And then we have a fridge out in the garage, which we are about to use as soon as we can get the electrical to work out there. So this has everything that's in my freezer here upstairs. Cleaned it out this week and organized it. And so all that we need for the week is up here in this freezer. And what you do is you make a slash mark, like I have chopped spinach, and there's a slash mark, meaning that it's in the fridge. If I use it, I will exit out like that, in and then out. So I know what we have in this freezer, so we could start rotating and nothing goes to waste. And then I also printed up this shopping list here. I haven't used it yet, but I'm totally impressed by it. It has sections for the store, and it's completely detailed, and then I re-detailed it to the food that we do eat, that we get, you know, quite frequently, especially for the veggies that we eat. And so I'm going to try to start using this and see how it goes. I do my shopping a little differently because I am a couponer, and I mean, I usually always get bananas and milk and bread and things like that, but things are always different on when I buy them just because of sales and coupons. One section that I do, one topic I do want to talk about is how to schedule time when to cook. We're busy right now now that school has started with football. Football started with the first day of school. And so there's going to be times where I can't cook at the normal dinner time hour, 5 or 6, because my kids get home. Well, they did take the bus. They don't take the bus anymore because they were getting home at 5 o'clock. That was ridiculous. So I will, and I've done this in years past, and this is a super, super helpful tip. Cook your dinner in the lull of the day. That means if there's always a time where you have, some people's lives are crazy, but there's usually a time where you can get something done, like if your babies are taking naps, and cook your dinner then. Like I used to, and I'm going to have to start it back up, like 1 o'clock when my Boston was little, that's when I would start cooking dinner because it was quiet, there was no one to bug me. I would get it cooked, and so all I had to do when it was time for dinner, when we had to hurry and run out for soccer, hurry and run out for football, was just heat up their dinner and serve their veggies. And that has been the biggest time saver and the biggest stress release when it's dinner time. And so now that we're into the thick of it, I'm going to start that up again. So try that tip out, see if it works. And then use your crock pot. Utilize your crock pot if you're a busy mom or dad. That way, if you put your food in, and then if you have to eat after practice, there's nights Jonah, you know, will have to have his dinner at 8 o'clock, 8:30 when he gets home from football. He does have a hearty snack before he goes to football, but you know, there's times that he can eat dinner, but if it's not ready yet, he has to eat it after. So utilize your crock pot. That will help you. Freezer meals. I am in a club for freezer meals here in my neighborhood, and I said give me a month and I would jump back in it with them once I get my refrigerator working out in the garage. A group of women get together. We cook a meal for, I think there's 4 or 5 women in our group. We'll cook one meal and we'll make one for each of the families. And we make it freezable for them, and you know, in freezer containers or the foil tin pans. And then we meet at one location and we exchange meals. So I will cook one meal for 5 families, but I am getting like 5 meals coming my way, and we stick them in the freezer. And that has been wonderful. I mean, sometimes I get stressed out thinking, okay, what am I going to make? What is freezable for these families? But sometimes I stress myself out because I think too much. But let me tell you, the benefit of once you have them and you can just go to your freezer, pull it out, stick it in your oven, it has been wonderful. And it actually has saved us so many times of like, crap, I don't know what to do for dinner, or I'm sick. That's a bummer when mom is sick and you still have to get dinner going. Or, you know, if you're on around, your husband knows like there's something in the freezer that he can heat up for the family. And so that's been wonderful. So if you can create a freezer meal group or join one in your area, totally beneficial, especially I think for you working parents. It'll save time for sure, and money, because you're not going to pick up the phone and get takeout or order pizza or go out, because you have the food. And so huge blessing there. So yeah, so this is how I menu plan. In fact, I'm going to be changing things up, I think, to really utilize our food downstairs. I've decided that I'm going to dedicate a certain day of the week to certain foods. So Sundays we usually do roasts and things of that nature, so I'm going to dedicate Sundays to like a roast. And then Mondays I'm going to dedicate to chicken. And that's a casserole or grilling, anything. Mondays are a chicken day. Tuesdays, like pork or fish. We love fish around here, so that would be good. Wednesdays, a pasta, any sort of pasta. Thursday, steak or salad. We love chopped salads and different types of salads as a meal when we make them, you know, more hearty. So we thought of that. And with the steak, it won't always just be like a piece of steak. It could be like fajitas and things, you know, steak salad and things of that sort. Fridays, pot pies or casseroles. And Saturdays, leftovers or just a free fall day. We love doing breakfast too, and we usually do that a lot on Saturdays, breakfast for dinner. So I'm going to try that out this week, see how it goes, and then this week in the next couple of weeks, and see how that goes. So we're not always bored and not always picking chicken meals and mixing it up a bit. And Fridays with the pot pies or casseroles, it could also be a soup. We can make that into the soup day as well. So since fall is approaching, you know, you have more soups and things. So I'm going to give this a go and see how it works out. You try it. That might make your menu planning a little bit easier, especially if you're just starting out menu planning and you don't know what to make. You know, segregate a day to a certain food group. So, you know, you can have a Chinese day. Like we like to make Chinese food. I'll make sweet and sour chicken. I'll make fried rice or chow mein. The kids love it. So you can have like a Chinese day, an Italian day, a Mexican day. If you make Indian food, make it an Indian day. So there's different ways that you can break up your meals during the week and make them different. So, but it sure can make your budget stretch too if you know that, okay, once a week we have chicken, I only need to buy this amount of chicken for the week for my family. So that could be beneficial for you. So this is how I menu plan. I hope I've been helpful. If you have any tips for me, definitely pass them on. I'm loving learning new things and implementing new ideas. That's what keeps me motivated and try to get more organized. So yeah, happy meal planning. Let me know how it goes. We'll see ya. Bye.